Let's get this party started. A, B, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, like English. Hello there. Welcome back to another fun day with your professor, Victor Singingeagle, here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. Today is, well, it's supposed to be Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. This is meeting 21. We've got some roll to do and some announcements to make, so buckle up and let's get started. First things first. Well, what's going on? Hey, Xueling. Sharon Abeta. I still have you on my roster. Xu Shanmei. Shayna Cook. Yay! Oh, by the way, Shane, I'm sorry I didn't answer you earlier. I've been running around like a chicken with a head chopped off, but I will answer you soon. Or you can always come and see me tomorrow or the next day. Let's see. Du Reibo, Durain Dubois. Ji Qingyun. Ma Piato in Gil. De Li Ling. Christina German. Nie Jiahui. Gabrielle Nealon. Ran Kaiting. That is Katie Robbins. Yay! That's everybody, I hope. So what else do we have to talk about today? Quickly. I think my voice is going. Must be all the yelling I was doing earlier. I was mad at myself for doing stupid stuff like knocking a big old glass of water on top of my lesson plans. Never mind. Let's stay focused, shall we? Why is it so dark in here? I'm going to turn the lights on. Wait a minute. Click. There we go. That's better. Let's see. Email and e-learning announcements. First things first, let's see what's happening in email. Right, Shayna Cook. I will be around tomorrow. I think, I know why. I was at the, what do you call the back cracker? Chiropractor's appointment. So you probably came by when I was at the chiropractor. What else? There's a deadline to apply or make corrections. That's 4:30 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday. Well, actually, yeah, it's tomorrow technically, but for our class it's today. But whatever, 4:30 to make your Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate Higher Education grant. You got to get on it quick. 15th. What else? Yes, I already know about that. We've got some students at risk in my class, our class, because some people have not been showing up or logging on. So you know who you are. Jump on it. I put on here, rest in peace, Wang Yi. That is, wow. That's 10 years since she passed away of breast cancer. My beloved wife. And may she rest in heaven and continue laughing at me from the clouds, or the Milky Way, as we say in my tribe. Let's see. Just a reminder about e-learning. Just because it says extra credit does not relieve you of the responsibility for knowing the material. Never mind about that. Nope. I'm going to say, forget that never mind part. Scratch that. Let's pull it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just a reminder where it says extra credit. Rising Native poet, Joel American Horse Waters, extra credit. Native Lady Book Warrior, The Marrow Thieves. Now the fact that I even mentioned these should highlight and turn off or set off the alarm bells that remind you that even though it's extra credit to respond to these, I still want you to have some idea about them. And I'm going to actually spend some time reading from those selections later. What else? 253 days till Christmas. Next week, I'm going to be gone, taking care of some more tribal matters. That is the week after this week, which is Holy Week. what do we call that? Easter week, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, from the, I'm going to, good Lord willing, take off. Just show me the date. Of course, it's never mind. I don't care. Go away. Show me. Nope, not going to show me. Never mind. Just look at the map. Or map. I can't talk today. I don't care. Go away. Stupid computers. Anyway, from Friday the 18th, I'm supposed to jump on a plane, fly out to Portland, Oregon, stay overnight, jump in a car, drive down to Mount Shasta, my hometown, take care of some family, tribal business, then come back on the 26th, I believe it is, which is a Saturday. So just a reminder that I'm going to be gone. What else? Now it's time for me to read. And I beg your indulgence as I do this. Like I said before, I normally do not like to read to students, but desperate times call for desperate measures, do they not? Sometimes I just have to. So let's have a look at this wonderful book, which of course you don't have, but I do highly recommend you watch the videos and listen up and how the story, what's going on in this story. If you watch the video that I made for this book, you kind of know where I'm already coming from. This is an urban Indian novel. Matter of fact, one of you guys, one of my beloved students, brilliant students, actually pointed this out when I mentioned Sherman Alexie being a Res Indian, issuing the challenge several years ago that we need some native urban Indians, because he said, oh yes, I wrote the great Reservation Indian novel, big head. Never mind. I wrote the great Native American reservation novel, but we don't have an urban Indian novel. And I believe Tommy Orange, our author, has answered his call. If we look at the title itself, There, a novel, we might need to ask ourselves, well, what does that title even mean? As you know, there is no comma in this title. I don't see it. Let me look again. Let's look at the entrant page here. If I can get out. Nope. I don't see a comma there either. There. So it's just there. And as we know, there can mean many things. One definition, what we tell our babies when they're crying, oh, there, and pat them on the back and hug them and all that. There! There's a whole, never mind. I'm going to stand up here and act like an idiot. So that's the main thing. I'm wondering, what do you take on that title meaning? And then I'm going to read from page 10, Urbanity. The fact that I'm even highlighting this should tell you something, you see. So, without any further ado, let's read Urbanity, or Urbanity, however you pronounce it. Urban Indians were the generation born in the city. We've been moving for a long time, but the land moves with you like memory. An urban Indian belongs to the city, and cities belong to the earth. Everything here is formed in relation to every other living and non-living thing from the earth. All are relations. The process that brings anything to its current form, chemical, synthetic, technological, or otherwise, doesn't make the product not a product of the living earth. Buildings, freeways, cars, are not these of the earth? Were they shipped in from Mars, the moon? Is it because they're processed, manufactured, or that we handle them? Are we so different? Were we not at one time, or were we at one time not something else entirely? Homo sapiens, single-celled organisms, space dust, unidentifiable pre-bang quantum theory. Cities in the same way as galaxies, or cities form in the same way as galaxies. Urban Indians feel at home walking in the shadow of a downtown building. We came to know the downtown Oakland skyline better than we did any sacred mountain range, the redwoods in the Oakland Hills better than any other deep, wild forest. We know the sound of the freeway better than we do rivers, the howl of distant trains better than wolf howls. We know the smell of gas and freshly wet concrete and burned rubber better than we do the smell of cedar or sage or even fry bread, which isn't traditional, like reservations aren't traditional, but nothing is original. Everything comes from something that came before, which was once nothing. Everything new is doomed. We ride buses, trains, and cars across, over, and under concrete plains. Being Indian has never been about returning to the land. The land is everywhere or nowhere. Ooh, good stuff, isn't it? So have a look if you can. Maybe get the book on your own if you like reading as much as I do. Book nerds, how do you say, book people unite. How about tagging? Everybody knows what this word means. Tagging. Well, let me stop talking and just read. This is page 28 of this book. The first time Danae saw someone tag, he was on the bus. It was raining. The kid was in the back. Danae saw that the kid saw that Danae looked back at him. One of the first things Danae learned when he first started taking the bus in Oakland was that you don't stare. You don't even glance. But you don't totally not look either. Out of respect, you acknowledge. You look and don't look. Anything to avoid the question, "What you looking at?" There is no good answer for this question. Being asked this question means you already effed up. I'm going to skip down. Danae is not recognizably native. He is ambiguously non-white. Over the years, he'd been assumed Mexican plenty, even asked if he was Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Salvadoran once. But mostly, the question came like this: what are you? What are you? You often will hear that, we urban Indians often hear that. Those of us who don't typically live on the res, hang out on the res, maybe we're born and raised in some city somewheres, or born on the res and moved to the city, and nobody knows who you are and what you are. They're going to ask you that question, what are you? And the last one, it's page 53. There's a reference to Alcatraz. Sounds familiar. Sounds like some crazy Indian professor when he was a kid. Never mind, let's keep reading. Page 53. I wish I could throw this stupid island into the ocean. It's already in the ocean. I meant down to the bottom. Why is that? I said. 'Cause my dad's making me and my brother be over here, he said. Pulled us out of school. No TV, no good food. Everyone running around drinking, talking about how everything's going to be different. It's different, all right. And it was better when we were home. Don't you think it's good we're standing up for something? Trying to make things right for what they've done to us all these hundreds of years since they came? Yeah, it's all my dad ever talks about. What they done to us, the U.S. government. I don't know nothing about all that. I just want to go home. This is a direct reference to the occupation of Alcatraz, which I believe happened 73, 72 when I was just a little kid. But I remember similar stories. I didn't get to go myself, but others in our family did. Never mind. But this is Urban Indian World being discussed by Tommy Orange. If you haven't picked up the book, it's highly recommended. Of course, you're not required to, but the fact that I even read from it, these passages might show up on a quiz or something. And this one, Joel, we're going to switch the channel to item B where it says Joel American Horse Waters. His actual name is Joel Waters, or I should say his Suyepi name, Washichu name is Joel Waters, but He comes from the American horse family. Let me quit messing around and read. It says here, to the girl who painted roaches. This is a poem. Let's pull it up. Joe Waters. And if you wonder where I got this, there is a link to this on eLearning. Let's read. To the girl who painted roaches. I never forgot the time you told me that as a kid you used to paint roaches with fingernail polish in a poverty-stricken res home. I imagine you alone, wild-haired and dirty, in a house full of drunk adults. It reminded me of my own neglect. It reminds me of what I went without. But how unusual it was for you to see beyond all of that dirty and paint a roach so pretty. I imagine your walls crawling with a little slivers of blues, reds, and greens, scuttering metallic things dashing in and out of everything, catching the moonlight through a dirty screen. I wish I had known to paint the ugly things instead of trying to stomp out and hide the poor dullness inside. From the bedbug bites to the head full of lice, I wish I had grown up in a middle-class life. But it wasn't so. It just wasn't meant to be. Maybe I should paint some roaches and let them scatter through the cracks of my mind. Bring some color to the gray matter, and maybe then I'll be fine. That's nice. A little bit of rhyme in there too, isn't it? All right, now I got to find the other one. This is going to take me a little bit of trouble where it says here Zoo World. Let's see if I can find it. I wonder if that's in 2015. Let me share Zoo World. Powwow, I am the powwow. I might have to search it out. Where is Zoo World? Nope. Let's see, I'm going to come over here and search it out. If I can't find it, I'll stop the video here and continue in an adjoining video. How's that? All right, thank you so much for your time. We'll do that because it's already 17 minutes and 21 seconds. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.